Welcome back to the SportsMax Zone. Ludlow Bernard is basking in the success of winning the Manning Cup schoolboy title with Kingston College and Jamaica Premier League Championship with Harbour in the same year, the same calendar year. Bernard orchestrated Kingston College's 5-4 penalty shootout win over Jamaica College in the Manning Cup decider back in January and wore a calm exterior from the sidelines as Harbour beat Dunbeholden 6-5 on penalties in that JPL final on Sunday. For Harbour, their title success was extraordinary, or is extraordinary, for the fact that they scraped into the JPL playoffs on goal difference before taming the three top teams from the preliminary round in the knockout phase of the competition. And Ludlow Bernard joins us on Zoom today. Ludlow, welcome to the SportsMax Zone. Good to see you again.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, good to see you here. You've had some time to reflect. We know that you're a contemplative man. As you look back at the season that was in the JPL, how do you assess what yourself, your backroom staff, your coaching staff, and your boys in the playing staff have achieved for Harbour this year?
Yeah, well, for me, the most pleasing thing for me was the fact that I was able to put together a project that had its genesis in probably at the beginning of the previous season, when I deliberately decided to pursue it with a particular band of players, mainly some youngsters, and mainly some players who would have been homegrown at Harbour Football Club. Of course, with a few additions. So our participation in the previous league last year was more like warm up and part of trying to get a team that can compete. Eventually, probably after 2 years spell. Coming into the season, we bolstered the group with the inclusion of Trayvon Reed, who always wanted to be at Harbour because a lot of the players that play here are his friends. So once he came in and we had a couple others, we figured that we would give it a good shot. But things weren't really happening as I would have wanted. Initially, our record for the first round read something like this: you draw, you lose, you win. 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 That was the level of inconsistency that we got. In examining some of the games, we would have seen whereby we would have dominated, but we really didn't have anything to show for it, and then we'd end up conceding. So in the transfer window now, we decided to get a few acquisitions in Colorado, Murray and Nicholas Hamilton to resolve that issue. And then we revived young Phil and Lawrence, who was basically idle at the time, and we encouraged him to come along. And then we started our rebound, and then some level of inconsistency still. But eventually, I think towards the latter part of the second round, we started to get it right. So, as I said, for me, it is really a project that was planned and properly schemed out, and feels good to really see it coming together now.
Yeah. I'm keen to hear what the approach to speaking to the players was from the moment you sealed the playoff qualification until the end, because I would imagine that there would have been some different things that you would have been saying to individuals and, of course, to the team as a collective from the playoffs heading into that quarterfinal matchup with Arnett Gardens. So talk to me from there, the communication to the players, the one-on-one conversations that you had with individuals. What was the message you were trying to drum into them? What was the philosophy you were trying to get them to express in these games?
Yeah, well, the presence of certain individuals like Harding, Talbot, Ryan Wellington, and Colorado Murray. These essentially are the senior-most persons in the group. not necessarily in age, but in experience in the league. And at all times, because, we have a lot of youngsters in the squad, at all times we would have issues with some of the younger ones, then, that belief and that expression of professionalism was always a problem. So constantly, they, along with myself and the coaching staff, and I must commend coaches Stewart and Fraser, because we all played our role in individually speaking with these players. Many a times I would get to the training session very early. I'm always the first person at the training ground. And I'm always having dialogue with the very first person that turns up. Or if there's an individual that I needed to really have some kind of discussion with, then I would have it there. So we would take that approach deliberately to have these one-on-one dialogues or groups, not necessarily groups in terms of midfield forward or whatever, just some small groups, because you don't know, within any team you'll have different sectors, and the strength of the team is usually to get these sectors together at all times, especially when it matters. So I would have discussions with the kids in the country. Then there's a little squad that we call the Vitz Crew, headed by Priestley. And then, of course, there are some others as well, the Jungle Crew, headed by Shepherd. And we'll all speak about our ambitions pertaining to the championship. Now, I remember our fluctuating force sometime would have led to some amount of despondency, especially when I remember losing that fair game. I was probably the only one leaving that ground on the day. Some amount of despair, yes, but I was probably pleased with the performance, not necessarily the result, because for me, there and then, that to me was the turning point. We lost the game, and of course, there were some grumblings, and we heard some players making flight arrangements already, because the possibilities of really going through probably would have been diminishing. So my stern talk to them immediately after that was, and this is as a group talk now, listen, my flight arrangements aren't being made until after July 3. So you all need to cancel your flight arrangements and put it in line with mine. I'm leaving Jamaica on the 11th of July. I have every intention to go to those finals and to be in that final game and final day, not necessarily the third place player either. So you better get your act together. I think this resonated with them to some extent. Coach looked like him serious about this, and I read it message to them every single day.
Yeah.
We went along with the Montego Bay game. We went into the Montego Bay game very, very hopeful, because results around the league at the time would have now put us back in a favorable position again. So all we had to do now was to get 6 points, at least 4 points from the remaining 3 games. Now you're asked to play Montego Bay United. You figure that you can get over them, but then again you have Dunbeholden and Waterhouse who would have defeated you in the season itself. The Waterhouse game was very contested. We lost 2-1. We scored 2 of the goals out of the 3 goals scored on the day. But the signs again were there that we were playing good football, because we dominated Waterhouse for the 90 minutes, and the spectators in the stands were always saying, "Can't make Harbour View come through. They look too dangerous." And the players would be hearing it when they go back to their respective communities. "Yo, now drop some good ball, no man, look like on the fine on the farm."
Yes.
The Dunbeholden game was going to be the first one. So we went to Veer, a ground at which we have never won a game before. And we went there with open optimism. We went about it in a workmanlike manner. Had our plans where the Dunbeholden team was concerned. But guess what? After 15 minutes, we were down 1-0.
Yeah.
And Timothy 1-0. And I think Cumberland and Mullines was 0-0 at the time. So we had to get back in the game, and they fought 2-0, and we came up with a free kick from young Trayvon Reed. Well, of course, thereafter, we resigned ourselves to defending this because we didn't. It was like 70 minutes into the game and Cumberland still hadn't scored as yet. It was highly unlikely that Tivoli was going to defeat Cavalier in excess of the 1 goal. Until, of course, within the 90th or so minute, we heard that Cumberland was then 1, then 2, then 3. So we're like, yes. You know? And then now, the business of going about to win the championship begun. They now believe that it could happen. We had a ticket, we had a chance. And the voices in the stands kept resonating. Don't make our view come true. Them too dangerous. And I think we tried on that, and it took us to where we eventually ended up.
Yeah, Coach, and at the start of the season, I remember reading an interview that you did where you spoke about, being so blessed to work with a Harbourview team that allowed you to make mistakes and, of course, bring the plan that you had to life. Talk to us about that, the fact that, the people around you believed in you. You spoke about talking to the players and, getting them to not book a flight. What about this crop of players and, of course, the rest of people that you worked with around you that, has brought you to this point where you can sit there as the coach that was able to win, major titles, 2 big titles?
Yeah, well, I must admit that I have a very special group. Today I was having a conversation with Rambo Wedderburn from St. Elizabeth Technical, and I was explaining to him, because he said he always admired the structure that we have here at Harbourview. And I said to him, listen, this project is not about me alone, right? Oh, by the way, I'm a Liverpool fan. If you see me, my team behave or you see me similar to Jurgen Klopp, it's not by accident. So it's a team effort, and I have to have the services of around me and Sean around me, who are seasoned, experienced Premier League players, and they come with their different attributes, one defensively, one offensively. As a matter of fact, when it comes to the defensive aspect of the midfield and the back four, I leave that exclusively to Donna, right? While myself and Sean attend to the rest of the team. We have one of the best trainers in the land in Jason Bojo Henry. We have a Matthews / trainer in Garfield Simmons. And then, of course, we have the junior coach, which is Sidney McFarlane in the ranks as well. So this coming together of this set of personnel without any issues of ego or selflessness, we come together and we get the job done. Well, the thing for me is I'm the one that is expected to set the template. I'm the one that is expected to set the tone. And of course, I'm probably the most experienced of the group and probably would have been in similar positions in different competitions before.
Yeah.
I've always said from as early as 2018, 2019, that if I could get a Harbourview team, average age of players anywhere between 22, 23 years old, just a little bit under the radar. When I say under the radar, I mean having players that not going to be so readily attracted to overseas opportunities immediately, because that is what Harbourview has suffered from in the past, right? Immediately as a player starts to spring, we lose them because they are offered overseas contracts. So I thought that this would have been the right group. A lot of the players would have come through the Harbourview system and would have been exposed. And then, of course, my position in Harbourview really allows me to make some very, very big calls and some very big decisions. So it's not an accident that you see some youngsters playing at the expense. I had to really terminate the services of some very senior players, and I was willing to take the chance to go along with these youngsters. I was willing to probably, well, in a competition in which you weren't going to be eliminated or relegated, then I knew I could take my chances and blood these youngsters and push them into the deep end. The only thing that was missing in the first season was that exposure to the grounds. Going to our Arnett Gardens, going to our Tivoli Gardens, or going down by Effortfield. That was the only thing that was missing from the experience.
Yeah.
But I think what this season was that they played on some very good surfaces, played against some good teams, involving some very senior and established players. And they really did express quite a bit of confidence in how they went about their business.
Yeah.
Of course, some players along the way, would have given up hope. But in the main, the core players stuck to it. And of course, as I said, with the inclusion of Murray, who was a former Harbour youth player, he brought along a serious level of professionalism along with Amal Knight from day one, and I think that helped to along with Wellington as well.
Yeah.
That helped to really make the team believe and the younger ones believe that it could be done. Once we got into the playoffs, we didn't have anything to lose for sure because we weren't supposed to be there anyway.
Yeah.
And I think that helped us as well.
Excellent. Ludlow, we are out of time. We could stay here for another hour. The thing is this, I want to say congratulations to you. I mentioned it at the press conference on Friday about your dream at the start of the season. It's a case of mission accomplished. KC in January, Harbour View in July. It has all come together nicely and the youngsters have done well by you, put you into the history books. And I want to congratulate you on their behalf.
Yes, George. Thanks for having me on your program, and I'm willing to share more thoughts with you at another appropriate time.
Excellent, man. All the best to you. Ludlow Bernard, top job this season with KC and with the Harbour View team that not many people, maybe only their die-hard supporters, would have said had a shot at the title at the start of the playoffs. It is an extraordinary story by any measure. Back with more in the SportsMax Zone after this. Thank you for watching SportsMax on YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and to click the notification bell to stay informed.